Hello creeps, freaks and makeup geeks, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be a radiation burn special effects look, and this is actually chosen by my Instagram. So for the last couple of days I've been posting a few polls, which you can see here. Okay, wonderful. And basically the top look that came out was radiation burn, so that is what I'm going to do today. It's actually going to combine glam, gore and body paint, because one side of my face is going to be the radiation burn itself, the other is going to have some sort of glam eyeshadow, and then I'm going to paint on my chest, even though you can't actually see that at the minute, the warning symbol for radiation. So yeah, that is the idea for today's look. If you like this video, be sure to click like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I post glam, I post gore, little tutorials, I'm going to start posting prosthetics, might have already by the time you're seeing this video, and I also do makeup challenges and a few hauls. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the look. So to start this look off, I am actually going to do the glam side. I'm going to do a little yellow eyeshadow look on this. So I'm actually going to start this look off with some glam, because on this side, I don't know which side I pointed out before, but it doesn't really matter. On this side I'm going to do a little yellow eyeshadow look. I would love to do it in neon, because, I don't know, when you think like radiation, radioactive, you think of something like bright green and yellow, but I don't have a neon palette, so I'm just going to use my Marvellous mattes, and I'll be using the yellow shades. So first of all, I'm going to quickly lay down a base with my Revolution Conceal and Define, and then we can get into the actual makeup. I've zoomed the camera in just a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing, and yes, I have stuck a piece of tape on my face. It's because I want to kind of create like a sharper look, and tape helps with that. So as I said, I'm going to be using my Revolution Reloaded Marvellous mattes. I say it in every video, I use it in every video, mainly because it's a rainbow palette and it can be used for everything. So I'm going to start off, as I said, with the bright yellow shade, and going to pack that onto my eyelid. Apologies if I'm looking over here, it's because I now have a camera with a flip screen viewfinder, so I keep looking at that to check like whether I'm actually in camera or whatever, so we're going to have to deal with that from now on. So once I have packed that yellow colour on, I am going to take a blending brush and blend it out a little bit with the same colour. So now that I have blended this slightly further towards my brow bone, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker shade of yellow, blend that up into my crease and a little bit into my outer corner. I'm looking at the viewfinder again, I'm sorry. You can't really see much of a colour difference on camera, but there is a difference in person, I should add. I'm now going to go in with a teeny tiny bit of the green and kind of just blend that at the top, the smallest amount, kind of just to add that radioactive look. Next I'm going to go in with my Revolution Flawless 4 palette and a little of this glittery white shade at the bottom called Kisses, and blend that into my inner corner and kind of away into the centre of the eye as well. However, I'm keeping the glitter minimal in this look. The glitter is incredibly subtle and kind of hard to see on camera, but it is there in my inner corner. So now I'm going to finish off the eye look with some mascara and a little bit of eyeliner. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using my Colour Couture eye crayon, using the black end. It's just a black eye pencil. I'm not great at eyeliner, so I'm going to quickly go do this off camera and apply some mascara, and then we'll move on to the rest of the face. So this eye look turned out really dramatic, and I'm not 100% sure what happened. I tried to apply eyeliner just to like the edge, and it ended up the whole way around, and also I applied a little bit of yellow underneath my lower lash line. It's a bit of a disaster really, but you know what, dramatic works for this look. So now that this is finished, I'm going to move on to this side of my face, which will be the actual radiation burn. I'm going to start by blocking out my eyebrow, just to make it safe to cover with latex. If you don't know how to do this, I will link a tutorial I made up here, just to make this video go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to quickly go block out my eyebrow, and then I will be back to start the burn itself. Okay, so I have blocked out my eyebrow, and I have also applied just a little bit of Vaseline around my hairline and my sideburns because I don't want to rip those out either. I'm going to take a liner pencil, this is just like an old lip liner I have, and draw in roughly where I want the radiation burn to be. I'm also going to do a little bit on my neck, but I will lower the camera when I get to that bit. This step obviously isn't massively important as a radiation burn isn't going to be perfectly even, but this for me is just kind of give myself an idea of where I want to apply my latex. So I am now going to take some liquid latex, this is just truss leaf, and I'm going to apply it in a layer all over the area that I have drawn. So as you can see, I have applied one layer of liquid latex to my face. I'm also going to apply it to this little bit that I drew on my neck. So now that I have applied one layer of liquid latex to both pieces, I'm going to continue adding layers to make it thicker. I'm probably going to add about 4 layers of liquid latex, roughly, and I can use a hairdryer in between to make the whole process a little bit faster. So now that I've added a few more layers, you can see that it kind of wrinkles up when I talk, that's because it's quite thick. I'm going to add some texture into this, so I'm just going to use some kind of unrolled cotton wool ball and stick this on in clumps to add some lumpiness on top of the layer of latex I already have. So I'm going to add a few more patches of cotton around the face and onto the neck piece, probably also adding some down the brow bone to give the impression of the face drooping a little bit, and then I'm going to go and add some more texture by pinching holes in it and stuff like that. So now that I have added some more bumpy texture into the look using the cotton, I'm going to actually dig some of the latex away to create like holes into the skin. For this I'm just going to use the end of an eyeshadow brush because I have unicorn brushes so they're pointy, but you can also use like a spatula or something like that. Just don't use something so sharp that you cut your actual face. And basically you're just going to pick away at the latex until you get little like holes and divots in it. I just tested this and my latex is really tough, so it's quite hard to get through it, so you're going to have to bear with me here. Something about this just isn't right. I do have another method of adding texture, but I'm going to get into that later. For now, as you can see, I've just added a few marks around the face. My skin now hurts, be careful doing that step. But I'm going to start to add some colour in. So first of all, I'm going to go into my 11 Ever bruise wheel, and I'm going to use like the red and the sort of darker purpley red. And first of all, I'm going to fill in the holes that I have just cut into the face. So now that I've filled in the sort of darker parts of the face, I'm going to take my 11 Ever cream flash palette and the bright red and cover up this entire area. Obviously skin would not go with that bright red, but it is just kind of to add the effect first, and then we can build up on it. Next I'm going to go back into my much darker shade of red and darken this entire thing up. So this is starting to look really flat, so I'm going to try and grab the edges and pull up some of the edges of the latex, but it's kind of hard to see where they are. I think I could have done with another couple of layers and maybe some more texture. And then I'm going to go back in with my darker colour again along this new edge. The point of me pulling this up is kind of to make it look like the burnt side of the face is not blended perfectly and like part of the healthy side of the face. And I'm now going to fill in this eye. I purposely didn't do this with cream paint, purely out of a personal preference because I struggle to get the cream paint out of my face, especially around the eyelashes. So I'm going to go in with my Marvellous Mattes palette again, which seems to have vanished, and we're going to take some purple and red shades and blend that into the eye, kind of making the eye socket look sunken. I'm also going to go in with the yellow in my flash palette and add that into some of the areas where the cotton is sitting, mainly because if you look up radiation burns, it tends to have boiled up and gone kind of yellow. I will be adding that kind of boil texture, but I'm going to have to add that at the end because the method I'm using has not dried yet. I will explain it all at the end. So before I add the final bit of texture to the face, I wanted to include just a little bit of body painting. So I'm going to paint the radiation warning symbol, this basically, onto my chest. So I need to move the camera down a bit. So basically to do this, I'm just going to draw around my scar wax tin tub thing to get an idea of the shape of a circle. This is where it gets difficult because I can't really see what I'm doing. So to draw in that little circle, I used my Duo eye crayon again. Obviously drawing a perfect circle in the centre point of two very sticky outy collarbones isn't going to be easy, and it's not perfect, but it's vaguely a circle. I now need to draw in the rest of the shape, so this is where it's going to look really crap, but you'll get the idea. I have shaky hands, I should add. I have shaky hands and I'm looking in a mirror, but this one here isn't quite right, but I can kind of touch it up with makeup if needs be. For now, I'm going to go back into my flash palette and the yellow shade and paint in the yellow first, and then I'll do the black afterwards. Because you can paint black over yellow, but you can't paint yellow over black, basically. Colour science. It doesn't really matter if I go over my lines, because as I said, again, I am going to colour in with black afterwards. Painting on my chest is also hard because my skin is a lot more textured here than it is on my face. So I'm going to go in with the black from the flash palette and finish drawing in the rest of the symbol. It's certainly not even, I can tell that, but hey ho. Okay, so that's kind of wonky. Okay, very wonky because I have super shaky hands, but it'll do. So now that I've finished off the symbol, I'm going to add the last little bit into the face, and then this look is pretty much done. I might re-outline this, I'm not sure. So the way I'm going to add a final bit of texture into this look, other than a teeny bit of fake blood, is these blobs. Basically, I dropped some latex onto my little palette thing here, like so, and when it dries they make these little sticky blobs. That one's not entirely dry because it was quite thick, but oh well. Basically I'm going to try and carefully peel them off because latex rolls up on itself, and then attach them with another teeny tiny bit of latex around the look, and then possibly colour them as well. Now that these little boils are firmly attached to the skin, the skin, I'm going to take just a teeny tiny bit of that red cream paint and blend them into the skin a little bit, or a lot of it, and then I will go over with my yellow eyeshadow because these are supposed to look like raised welts off the skin. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of fake blood. This isn't meant to be like a bloody look, it is a burn, a radiation burn, but it obviously does damage the skin, clearly. So there will be just a teeny tiny bit. This is more to add like a shine and a raw, kind of destroyed skin look, rather than blood. But this is Meron's stage blood. It's the dark meanness blood. so that is this look complete, with the horrifying gory radiation side, the very extra makeup, I don't know what happened, and whatever the hell this is. Despite the weird mess going on down there, that sounds wrong. I actually quite like how this look turned out. It's something I've never tried before, so if you guys liked it too, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe for more gory content, leave any questions, comments, concerns and future video suggestions down below, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.